The history of the Persian Empire traces back to the ancient civilizations of the Near East, with its roots in the rise of the Elamite kingdom around 2700 BC. The emergence of the Persian people, an Indo-European group, occurred around the 9th century BC in the region of Persis, in what is now southwestern Iran. The first significant Persian dynasty, the Achaemenids, was founded by Cyrus the Great in the 6th century B. Under Cyrus, the empire expanded rapidly, conquering the powerful Median Empire and incorporating it into a vast multicultural realm that stretched from Anatolia to the Indus River. Darius the Great, one of Cyrus's successors, further consolidated the empire, organizing it into satrapies and constructing the royal road to facilitate communication and trade. The Achaemenid Empire reached its zenith under Xerxes I, who famously led the invasion of Greece in 480 BC, an event immortalized in the Battle of Thermopylae and the naval engagement at Salamis. However, the Persian Wars ultimately ended in defeat for the Achaemenids, marking the beginning of the decline of their empire. The empire faced internal strife and external pressure from rising powers such as Alexander the Great's Macedonian Empire, which conquered Persia in the 4th century BC. The Seleucid Empire, a Hellenistic successor state, briefly ruled over Persia before it fell to the Parthians in the 3rd century BC. The Parthians, of Iranian descent, established a powerful empire centered in Persia, but faced constant conflict with Rome in the west. In the 3rd century C, the Sassanid Empire emerged as a new Persian dynasty, revitalizing Persian culture and Zoroastrian religion. The Sassanids engaged in protracted wars with the Byzantine Empire, leading to a period of territorial fluctuation and instability. However, the Arab conquests in the 7th century C dealt a severe blow to the Sassanid Empire, culminating in the fall of their capital, Ctesiphon, in 637 C. The Islamic conquests transformed Persia, introducing Islam and Arab culture to the region. Despite this, Persian culture and language persisted, influencing the development of Islamic civilization. The subsequent centuries saw the rise and fall of various Persian dynasties, including the Samanids, Buyids, and Seljuks, each leaving their mark on Persian history. The Mongol invasions in the 13th century devastated Persia, leading to the collapse of the Abbasid Caliphate and the emergence of the Ilkhanate. The Safavid Empire, founded in the 16th century, ushered in a new era of Persian greatness, promoting Shia Islam as the state religion and establishing Iran as a major regional power. The Safavids were succeeded by the Afsharids and then the Qajars, who ruled Persia until the early 20th century. The Qajar era saw increasing European influence and territorial losses to neighboring powers. The 20th century brought significant upheaval to Persia, with the rise of Reza Shah Pahlavi, who sought to modernize and centralize the country. However, his autocratic rule sparked discontent, leading to the Iranian Revolution of 1979, which resulted in the establishment of an Islamic Republic under the leadership of Ayatollah Khomeini. Since then, Iran has experienced political, social, and economic challenges, but continues to assert its cultural heritage and regional influence on the world stage. Following the tumultuous events of the Iranian Revolution in 1979, Iran underwent significant changes under the new Islamic Republic. Ayatollah Khomeini, revered as the leader of the revolution, established a theocratic system of governance based on Islamic principles, with himself as the supreme leader. This marked a departure from the secular rule of the Pahlavi dynasty. The revolution also led to the seizure of the American embassy in Tehran and the subsequent hostage crisis, which strained Iran's relations with the United States and much of the Western world. In the years following the revolution, Iran experienced a tumultuous period of internal restructuring and external conflict. The Iran-Iraq War, initiated by Saddam Hussein's invasion of Iran in 1980, lasted nearly a decade and resulted in immense human and economic costs for both countries. Despite facing international isolation and economic sanctions, Iran emerged from the war with its revolutionary fervor intact, further solidifying the grip of conservative clerics on power. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Iran continued to pursue its revolutionary ideals both domestically and abroad, supporting various militant groups and engaging in proxy conflicts across the Middle East, particularly in Lebanon, Palestine, and Iraq. Internally, Iran witnessed periods of political repression alongside limited reforms aimed at modernizing the economy and society. The presidency of Mohammad Khatami from 1997 to 2005 brought about a brief period of relative political openness and social liberalization known as the Tehran Spring. However, these reforms were met with resistance from hardline elements within the establishment, leading to a crackdown on dissent and the curtailment of reformist initiatives. The election of Mahmoud Ahmadinejad in 2005 marked a return to conservative leadership and a shift towards populist economic policies, accompanied by increased international tension over Iran's nuclear program. The imposition of sanctions by the United Nations and Western countries further strained Iran's economy, leading to widespread discontent among the populace. The election of Hassan Rouhani as president in 2013 heralded a new chapter in Iran's domestic and foreign policy. Rouhani, a moderate cleric, campaigned on a platform of diplomatic engagement and economic reform, pledging to negotiate a resolution to the nuclear issue and improve Iran's relations with the international community. His administration successfully negotiated the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JPOA, with the 5 countries in 2015, leading to the lifting of nuclear-related sanctions in exchange for Iran agreeing to limit its nuclear program. The JPOA represented a significant diplomatic achievement for Iran and was widely hailed as a milestone in its efforts to reintegrate into the global economy. However, the JPOA faced opposition from hardline factions within Iran, who viewed it as capitulation to Western demands and a threat to the country's sovereignty. The election of Donald Trump as President of the United States in 2016 further exacerbated tensions, as his administration adopted a more confrontational approach towards Iran and withdrew from the JPOA in 2018, reimposing sanctions and increasing pressure on the Iranian government. In response, Iran began to gradually scale back its compliance with the nuclear agreement while seeking to rally international support against the U.S. sanctions regime. The assassination of General Qasem Soleimani, the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Quds Force, by a U.S. drone strike in January 2020 further heightened tensions between the two countries, raising fears of a broader military confrontation. As Iran navigates through these complex geopolitical dynamics and domestic challenges, the future of the Islamic Republic remains uncertain. The country's leadership faces mounting pressure to address economic grievances, promote political reform, and safeguard national security interests amidst growing external threats and internal dissent. Whether Iran will be able to reconcile its revolutionary aspirations with the realities of a rapidly changing world and chart a course toward stability and prosperity remains a central question for the nation and the broader international community. Amidst these challenges, Iran has continued to assert its influence in the Middle East through its support for allied governments and militant groups, including Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, and various Shiite militias in Iraq and Syria. Iran's involvement in regional conflicts, particularly in Syria's civil war, has further exacerbated its already strained relations with regional rivals such as Saudi Arabia and Israel. The assassination of Iran's leading nuclear scientist Mohsen Fakhrizadeh in November 2020, widely attributed to Israeli intelligence agencies, underscored the ongoing security threats facing the country and heightened concerns about the stability of the region